New artworks appearing across the US Capitol, created by death row inmates and displayed outside embassies. The aim is to deliver a powerful visual reminder of the dignity of these artists.
There are unfortunately many countries that still, including our own, that still use this penalty, this inhumane penalty. Humankind has to set a higher example, and that example is, if you look at statistical data in the United States particularly, when it comes to the death penalty, when it comes to, it's disproportionately executed. And what I mean by that is when blacks have killed blacks, and the death penalty is sought, is a high number of persons that have been killed. When whites have killed blacks, it's very small. I must add that when I was 15, 16 years old, well, 10 years old, my father was gunned down and killed. Everyone knows that. At 16, my father's mother was gunned down and killed in the church while playing the Lord's Prayer. When the gentleman was sentenced, it was my grandfather and our family that went forth to the court system in Georgia and said, we do not want him to be executed. So we've been against the death penalty forever.
Why is it so much worse for the black community? Why is it so disproportionate?
Well, I'd have to just say it's unfortunately, we're still a very racist society. And when you look at the systematic structures in communities of color, because there's a disproportionate number of black folk represent 13% of the population of the United States, but in the criminal system, and notice I said criminal and not criminal justice, because I don't believe the system is just yet. I think it is a criminal system. But black folk end up being 40 and 50 and 60% of the jail population, yet 13% of the population.
Given all the other things that are happening in the world, why is this issue such an important one?
It is critically important because it is really about how humankind treats humankind. But to set an example, I think that it's so important that we should provide leadership. The United States has provided leadership to the world in many ways. This is one that we've not yet come to the table on, and we should.
Voting rights. We are already in election season, although not officially. What are you doing, and how bad is the situation in comparison to previous elections, and what are you doing to try to improve things?
We got to just keep working on this, and our organization, Drum Major Institute, along with a number of others, have worked on it. And we can't really observe the King holiday because Dr. King, one of his monumental, I think the crowning jewel of the modern civil rights movement was the Voting Rights Act, making sure that people could vote. And yet, here we are 55 years after Dad's death, and still it is hard for some people to vote. That has got to change. We're going to continue to work on that issue. We're going to continue to talk about expanding rights, not restricting rights.
At this stage in your life, your career, how optimistic are you?
I am eternally optimistic, especially in the younger generation. I'm inspired by, young Miss Flint in Michigan. I'm inspired around the world by young Greta Thunberg. I mean, and the list goes on and on. Malawi and Pakistan. I mean, if these young people can stand up and not allow someone to stop them from doing that which is good, just, and right, then we must all do our part.